name is Joe Roble, and I am the chair of the Canadian Construction Association. I'd like to congratulate the Ontario Sewer and Water Main Construction Association on celebrating your 50th anniversary. The construction industry has changed a lot in the last 50 years, and it is thanks to the hard work and dedication from associations like OSWCA that our industry continues to be a national leader. This is especially given the challenges our industry is facing with the pandemic. While some sectors had to shut down or drastically alter their operations, for the most part, construction was able to continue to operate throughout the pandemic. This success speaks to the strength and resiliency of our industry as essential service providers. As the National Association, CCA's efforts in service to you are guided by three strategies: to unite the industry while proactively championing national issues that matter, to lead the construction industry in adopting best practices that will help them in their success, and to evolve the association by broadening membership and driving member value. In collaboration with our partner associations and key stakeholders like the Association of Canadian Consulting Engineers, Canada's Building Trade Unions, and the Federation of Canadian Municipalities, CCA has become sought out by the federal government on critical industry issues. We could not have achieved this without the backing of our 20,000 member firms. You are CCA. We are passionate about making sure that your needs as a partner association and as our collective members are being heard and addressed, especially during such trying times.
Hi, I'm Mary Van Buren, President of the Canadian Construction Association. Thank you for being members and for your commitment to safety during this past year. While 2020 brought about several new challenges, CCA achieved some very important successes, starting with federal advocacy. While not all of you work directly with the federal government, you are all affected by the rules they make and the investments they allocate to infrastructure. CCA speaks daily with federal departments, from finance to Treasury Board, as well as ministers' offices. And last year, we successfully persuaded the Government of Canada to pay for COVID-19 costs on federal projects. Year to date, that's worth $20 million. We also secured an extension of key pandemic relief programs like the Canada Emergency Wage Subsidy and changes to the Commercial Rent Assistance Program. And we educated parliamentarians and government staff on the risks of assigning workforce quotas. While CCA can and do a lot to advocate on your behalf, MPs really appreciate hearing from you, their constituents. In 2020, we asked for your engagement in three ways. The first was to send in a letter to your MP to secure cost recovery for COVID-19. Over 1,500 letters were sent in, a good start, but we need to grow the numbers of letters to increase our leverage for future campaigns. We also invited members and association leaders to participate in our annual Hill Day meetings with MPs. In 2020, we virtually connected over 60 members from all 10 provinces to meet with 50 MPs from all 5 parties represented in the House of Commons, including cabinet ministers, parliamentary secretaries, a former leader of the official opposition, and the infrastructure and workforce critics of all parties. 2020 brought about unforeseen challenges for everyone across the country. With a smaller, more nimble board in place, supported by a digitally enabled staff, CCA and partner associations worked tirelessly to create standardized health protocols for construction sites and a wealth of tools to help manage change throughout the pandemic. This included 17 free webinars. CCA delivered on being a hub of knowledge for the industry and for you, our members. Across Canada, members tell us they're short of skilled workers. Last year, CCA launched the Talent Fits Here campaign to help shift the perception of the industry as a career of choice and to attract the next generation of diverse talent. The campaign is already gaining traction on social media with over 20 million impressions, 60,000 page views, and over 2 million video views. In 2020, we also launched 2 new free member services designed to support the adoption of innovation within the industry. The first is the Construction R&D Portal. It's in partnership with Cognit.ca. With just a few clicks, you can access construction-related research happening at post-secondary institutions across Canada. And our latest service is the Kpmg Digital Maturity Assessment Tool. This confidential online tool helps Canadian construction companies benchmark your digital efforts against firms of similar sizes.
As we move into 2021, CCA is focusing on three primary issues. 1. Long-term infrastructure investment and urgent flow of funds. We can never take investment in infrastructure for granted. The federal government is being approached by industries that have been decimated. Hospitality, tourism, retail, for instance, for bailouts. Infrastructure expenditure is not a cost nor a bailout for the industry. It is an investment. And Minister McKenna reinforced this message in her own presentations. That every dollar spent on infrastructure investment generates a 3 times return to GDP. Past infrastructure investments in our roads that carried supplies, our hospitals caring for our sick, and our clean water to maintain hygiene standards have stood us well during this pandemic and will do so in the future. The Canadian Infrastructure Report Card identified the significant infrastructure deficit, with roads and bridges needing urgent attention. With private sector investment faltering, we Canadians need the federal government to take a leadership role. The government must ensure year-over-year consistency and long-term predictability in funding these critical infrastructure projects and get the project dollars flowing urgently. There are already billions of dollars earmarked for infrastructure. Ontario still has over $8 billion uncommitted from the Invest in Canada plan for infrastructure. But these funds are blocked between the layers of government due to jurisdiction fights. 2. Fair and transparent procurement. CCA exists to ensure a fair and transparent procurement climate. We support an inclusive and diverse industry and have worked closely with our partner associations on aligning messaging to the provincial and federal government on community benefits. At the federal level, our message is that applying a workforce quota, such as requiring 15% women, does not work because that group do not currently exist. Furthermore, we are seeing a concerning trend of provincial or even municipal protectionism, where projects or workers can only be hired within certain geographical limits. This goes against multiple CCA policies which are designed to promote fairness, entrepreneurism, and the freedom of the worker. Instead, we're asking the federal government to work with us to develop this diverse workforce, support our campaign, provide incentives to hire apprentices, and to reduce barriers that are within their control, like security clearances. Risk sharing, prompt payment, reprisal clauses are also on our radar. 3. Workforce attraction. In 2021, we will continue to promote the industry as a career of choice. CCA has also assembled a working group to identify options to meaningfully address racism in the workplace. As I stated at the beginning, unifying the industry is core to what we do and why the CCA was founded in 1918. On that note, I'd like to invite you to attend our virtual conference. We know that not all of you could take time to join us in our past in-person conferences, so this is a great opportunity to not only learn, but to enjoy some social activities as well. In addition to our keynote speaker, General Retired Rick Hillier, another Canadian icon, Dan Aykroyd, will host a special social event. Thank you for being members of the CCA. Together we are stronger. Together we will build a better Canada.